Hello everyone. It's your first time tuning in. I'm Chris, and this is Pia's Projects. First off, new merch. Here's me wearing it. And thank you to everyone who's already purchased one. So this video is gonna be a little different than previous ones. Normally it's me working on something, right? So I've now made videos since December of 2023. Okay, so what are we, 15 months in? Basically, everyone's first goal is 1,000 subscribers, because that's when ads start popping up. We haven't hit that number yet. Okay. Looking at the numbers, so only 16% of the people that watch are subscribed. Well, if that number went to 50%, which probably is a bit of a stretch, we'd be well over the 1,000 mark. Then the next goal is you have to have 4,000 watch hours at the same time. I understand this might be boring for most of you, but basically I'm doing this for free right now. Hence why I'm doing the merchandise and selling stuff here and there. I sold off a few things that like parts to projects that I either from the past that I was saving, like if I pick something up again, but I'm not. And I've listed my 1983 Mark I Rabbit 4-door diesel for sale. So I was going to do a whole will it run, do a whole little series of it, drive for a bit, and then maybe eventually sell it. I would like to have taken it to at least Mark I Madness, but it's a little lower on the priorities. Granted, do I think the view would be there? Yes. I don't know. I work a full-time job. I have kids. So, working on all this, I do this a little bit in the evenings, usually on the weekends. I try to be a halfway decent dad, do stuff with my kids. So, that's why, hey, the last 2 videos have been just little stuff I've done to the F100 while I'm working on it. Those views are very, very low. So I will probably not show that off as much. Eventually I'm going to do suspension work on it and lower that truck. I'm hoping that will get more views because I'm going to record that, because it's going to take some time. The motor stuff I'll just do when I can. The next thing we are going to work on is the Beetle. I've talked to a few people about it, but currently it doesn't run. Back in December, after I did the generator upgrade to an alternator, I went ahead and put a HEI style distributor. But when I set it in, I didn't drop it in far enough. There's a groove, a worm gear. It didn't lock in, and well, from everything I've read, when you start the motor and if it's not locked in, things get a little wonky. I've read that I can basically pull out the worm gear, reset the top dead center, fix the crank pulley, drop the worm gear back in, and it should be fine. So that's what we're going to try and do next week. This week, I just had stuff going on. and worked on other things. So that's why you guys are getting this update video. If you're watching it, you like Volkswagens, you like cars. If you think I'm halfway funny, subscribe. I would really like to hit the 1,000 mark before the end of the year. Because then they'll keep the drive going, okay? And by no means do I expect to become rich off of YouTube. No. But if it could at least offset some of the gear that I use, maybe buying an occasional tool, or even funding some of the trips to the shows I go to, I would call that a huge win. I'm probably not going to as many shows this year as I have in past years because, I mean, things are expensive. So, I have some plans for the Joker as well. A little interior refresh, and maybe by the winter we'll build the VR6 and get it ready to swap in. But until that motor has been gone through and built, I'm not tearing the drivetrain out of the Joker. The Touareg I picked up last month, the month before. I'll put a link up here. I've talked to several people now, and we pretty much have confirmed it's got to be a wiring issue. So I will need to take a day or two, gut some stuff, and figure out where the bad wire is. VCDS will probably help with some of it, but I'm also gonna have to go in there, get a little dirty, and pull stuff. I'm waiting on a couple parts for the E28, which is why I haven't done anything with it yet. Once I get parts for that, sort of gonna jump into that like head first. I have some plans with that thing, and it's a cool looking car. I know most of us probably aren't huge BMW fans. 80s BMWs are different. I mean, they just are. So, and then my Silverado, the motor either needs to come out and get rebuilt. If I'm doing that, I have a motor that has 87,000 miles on it from a same generation truck. So I'm gonna swap that in. Probably just the motor, because I think that transmission of the other truck is a little rough. But we'll see. When you guys watch stuff, leave a comment. Just say hey. It helps the algorithm. And I know I normally don't talk about any of that stuff, but we got to have interaction for it to keep growing and for more people to see this. Share it with your friends. If there's stuff you really like, cool. If there's stuff you think is good, awful, let me know. I'm fairly receptive to feedback. My only suggestion is if you see an issue, provide a solution. Hey, and then if you guys have any questions about any stuff or stuff that am I going to be at any shows, any particular show, if there's anything you see me work on or you'd like me to go over something, let me know. I feel like, heck, you can even send me a message on Instagram. I respond Usually same day. If I don't respond in the same day, something probably happened. So just be mindful of that. Thank you for everyone who watches every week or watches when you can, right? Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget, there's always a solution.